Ladies and gentlemen, it has come to my attention to inform you that I could not find my Katakuri deck for obvious reasons. I couldn't see where I can find my pieces to make you that Katakuri deck, but instead, during that time of solidarity, I studied the blade while blind. I studied the blind blade, which is why today I'm going to be bringing you Issho decklist. If I can click. There we go. Yes. The decklist for Issho. Yes. So, what his leader ability is. 1 Dawn, all of your opponent's characters get -1 cost. And end of turn, pay 1 Dawn to set up one of your characters with a cost of 5 or less as active. You know what this means, fellas? That means that Borsellino that you keep there for the entire game, not swinging with. You know that Hina maybe, Diamante. It's a personal pick. Even your Kuzan. I know you black fans out there who like to play the black color. This bad boy, you always want to swing with him, but he's susceptible to dying. But not in this deck, he's not. No Cerritos, because this bad boy can get all of your 5 cost or lowers standing back up with 1 cost, with the payment of 1 Dawn. And that's what I'm going to give you guys today. Issho is a mid-range, slightly controlled deck. There are a couple of variants how to go about him. There's Supernova, there's Normal Navy. I am choosing the route of the Don Quixote family route because I found out that there is a lot of cards that you can abuse with this ability on top of the other things. Well, let's getting started. We're using 4 Viola. She's your classic 2k counter. Rest up to one of your opponent's Dawn for the cost of 2. She's also an attacker if you really need her to be, but I usually use her as a 2k guard. Now onto the juice of this deck. Diamante himself, the man, the legend, the flower swordsman. He is a blocker with the ability of Dawn 1, end of turn. If you have 2 or more Dawn active, set this card as active. This character as active. So, what I like to do with this deck is I like to combo him along with Dellinger. Now, Dellinger is a huge part of this deck, but he's not out of 4 of, and I'll get to that in a bit. But Diamante being able to stand himself as an attacker and going back to being a blocker, he is his own Issho ability, right? Obviously, you can still use Issho's ability in case you don't have the Dawn standing, but we'll get to that in a bit. Dellinger is the core of this deck, and I want to be able to search him, which is why I am running Don Quixote family. So to counter, look at the top 5 cards of your deck. For Don Quixote Pirates, add it to your hand, and you're set. The reason why I want Dellinger is because at the end of your turn, he's always sending you up that 1 active Dawn. Now, that might seem small to you, but having that 1 active Dawn for Issho's ability is so good. Like, it's a free Dawn. It's a free restand for one of your units. That's insane. That's huge. And that's really good because there's a lot of times where I would want to max out my Dawn usage and damage, and sometimes I wasn't able to get that done. But with Dellinger, he sets 1 up, so you're always set. It also helps deal with those pesky sugars that the opposing Doffy has. Maybe have a sugar on board, play a card, they rest it. Well, with Dellinger's ability, you can stand that little blocker right back up, or whatever they rested. Usually a 4 cost, because those are what the money cards are. That's what gets the thing going. Next up, we're running 3 Don Quixote do Flamingo. Obviously, he's the new big boss for green, in my opinion. He just, like, super slows down the tempo of the game. It gives you breathing room. Stun 3 of their cards, usually a leader in like 2 big bodies. You can never go wrong. You have a blocker or something, stand it right back up with Dellinger because he's going to be on the board. We have X-Drake, a personal pick of mine. I remember one night I was telling myself right before JP got their leaders announced, hey, wouldn't it be funny if they made like a black-green like leader or something? That'd be pretty funny, right? Lo and behold, that very next morning, we got Issho as a leader. And I popped off. And I told the whole group chat, guys, I was right. I told you. Yes, his ability. 1 Dawn, your turn. If this character is rested, Supernova or Navy type leaders and characters get plus 1k. So you basically get yourself a free Zoro ability. And the best part about him is he counters Doffy in a way to where he doesn't need to attack. He just needs to be rested. So if he gets stunned while rested, you put a Dawn on him and his ability is still proccing, which is really strong. Now, I'm only running him at 2 because the space is kind of tight, and there's also a couple cards in the deck that I am also running to help kind of remedy that. We're running 3 Kuzan. He's your standard draw. He's your standard cost neg. He's a 5k base. Replace himself, special type, really strong, very solid card. I'm not running him at 4 because he can be bricky at sometimes, and considering the meta is heavy in blue right now, getting this bounce to your hand does not feel good, especially or bottom deck at that matter. Shoot. But yes, getting this bounce, like, sure, yeah, you get another drop you play, but now you have to replay it and you're losing tempo and you're losing out on pressuring your opponent because they played a 4 Dawn card. Or 6. Or 9. They have a lot of answers, blue does. We're running Kobe. We're only running 2 copies of Kobe. There's a small amount of instances where I want to pop something. Again, this is more of a mid-range, slight control variant. So what I like to do is with Kobe, with Dellinger, with my other blockers and units, I like to put a couple Dawn on them, swing, end of turn, restand them. So I technically always have a guaranteed attacker. There's never going to be an instance or chance where I have a swing with the attacker and I'm just like dropping hand trying to guard to keep them on the board. When I don't have to do that, I'll just eat all the damage, which means more resources for me so that I can continue my pressure. 3 Sakazuki. 3, 4 is too much, 2 is too little, 3 is like that nice sweet spot I like to hit. And he just gets the job done. They're like Kuzan Sakazuki combo. It takes care of most of the bad bosses anyway. And if it is a 10 cost, just chuck a Dawn on Issho, swing with Kuzan, and then bam, Sakazuki kills anything on the board. It's insane. Of course, you can still have Sudo as well, or you can have Issho on the board. They all help really well. For Sudo, obviously, it's your standard 2k for Navy. On play, give a character -2 cost. Sometimes you want to play around the board so you can hit something in like Kobe or Sakazuki range. It's nice all around. I'm running 3 Rosinante Don Quixote because not only is he Navy, but he's Don Quixote Pirates, which means he's also searchable by Don Quixote family. This is coming clutch a lot of the time. It's helped a lot. It's just really solid. It's another target for this as well, in case I need a small blocker or just another card in general. This always comes in clutch. Also, in this meta, there is a lot, because there's so many bounce and bottom decking cards, they're gonna feel freaking terrible bottom decking this 2-cost Rosinante. I swear. They're gonna hate doing that. But they have to, and then that leaves more room for you to play your bigger things, so that then they burn out their resources. It's like, oh, okay, cool, you burnt out on my 2 cost, fine, I'll just throw some more units on the board and then keep the pressure going. 4 Borsellino, standard, blocker, can't be killed, 6k on their turn. Like I said, with Issho, you can afford to swing with this every turn and then restand him back up, so you get your attack and block benefits out of this one. And again, as I said, I will only use my blockers as blockers when they need to be. So I'm probably going to be swinging with Borsellino anyway to keep that 5k pressure going, because even then, even if you can't restand Borsellino at the end of your turn, that's still a 6k body they have to deal with, and that requires Dawn investment because nothing can like bear swing into it unless you're Whitebeard, because you're still playing that deck, Whitebeard players. Issho. It's very strong 8 cost. Put 1 Dawn, -3 cost on everything. On play, obviously, use your blind wisdom to wisdom their best cards out of their hand. This hits a lot often this meta because it's more control and it's a lot slower this time around. So I'm thinking about bumping him up to 3, but I feel like 2 is fine since I do have the brand new Navy Searcher. So having this Searcher is also just like really well, works really well with this deck. Hits a lot of different targets. Also hits Rosinante. Running Fukuro, unkillable 3-cost blocker. It's a mini blocker. Hard to get rid of. Can swing with this too. Put 2 Dawn on it. Swing 5. Restand it at the end of your turns. 3 Dawn, but that's 2 attacks guaranteed with you and your leader. Don Quixote family. It's your Don Quixote Searcher. searches Dellinger, Diamante, Viola, the man himself, and Rosinante. There is, however, another card that is both Navy and Don Quixote, and his name is Virgo. He is a 2k counter. I thought about running him in this deck instead of X-Drake, but I feel like with X-Drake, he'll give you that extra 1k amount of power to boost to make your pressure a lot stronger. Like, we all know how insane Zoro is as a leader, so just imagine that, but as a character, and this is stackable, so I can get like a boat beard, basically. I can get a boat if it really comes down to me having both on the board, which can be difficult because of all the clear that's in this meta, but if they don't clear it, they're in for a lot of hurt. And for the last 2 cards, I'm running Weaklings Can't Choose the Way They Die, and I'm running this card because if you pay close attention, it's also a main while being a counter at the same time, and its ability is rest up to one of your opponent's leaders or characters, then KO up to one of your opponent's rested 6 cost or lower characters. The important keyword here is 6 cost. So not only does this hit higher than Sakazuki, but with 5 Dawn, we can essentially blow up a very big target for the investment of 5 Dawn. So say they have a Mihawk on board, that's a 9 cost, right? If you have Issho on board, you put a Dawn on him and then boom, killed, 6 Dawn investment. You have Kuzan on board, swing with Kuzan, boom, kill, 5 Dawn investment. And it's like you pop such large targets with him. But that's why I'm only running out of 2 of, because more would be a little bit bricky. It's very rare that I have the amount of Dawn to use this as a defensive counter. It's more so an offensive push, so it puts them on a timer. Because then if I have somewhat of a board established, I pop off using this card. Now they're down a card and they're being swung out a bunch of times, and I'm restanding everything at the same time. So it's pretty hard for them to get rid of, or to like deal with that once they get like a big blocker or something, or like one of their main units that was supposed to help them win the game taken out like that. But yeah, that is the deck list. It's super fun. I'd say its bad matchups are only really blue, to be honest. I've fought many of the meta decks. I fought a Rebecca, fought a Zoro, I've fought against Katakuri. It works pretty well into them. So let's get into some matches so I can show you some of his magic. Alright, we got ourselves a blurple Croc. We're going to go ahead and take second here because that gets rid of their on-curve 8-cost Croc. Let's see, if we can see Issho in this matchup, that's going to benefit us a lot, actually. We're going to end our turn here, and instead of playing this brand new, we're going to play both Don Quixote families when they attack us, so that we can get some searches going. Yeah, this deck is actually pretty scary. I have one of my friends at our locals. He plays this deck, and he makes that deck look insanely strong. It's very annoying to combat. It's really rough. It's very hard to fight, but it's not impossible. Wonder what he's thinking. Well, in the past time, since he's taking quite the long amount of time whether he wants to play a Perona or not, how's your guys' day going? I hope it's going great. They played the Miss Valentine finally. Yeah, having fun making a lot of content. I'm getting a lot of feedback from you guys, and it's definitely motivating. It's welcoming. I love it all. You guys are the best, and this is just something I'm really passionate about, so I'm gonna continue doing it. I'm gonna become more consistent at outputting some videos. It does take a little time for the editing and all that to go through, but it's definitely worth it for you guys. Alright, we're gonna grab a 2K here. Ordering doesn't matter too much for this deck. Then we're gonna grab the Diamante. We're gonna put Sakazuki in the front, and then we will take the damage. And then I think he ends here, actually. Unless he's got a 1-mana play. Don't know why it's taking this man a long time to make his decisions with minimal Dawn, but hey, to each their own, right? I'm gonna swing 5k at life. He takes, gets a trigger. Mr. Chuba gets a Valentine trigger, okay. He grabs a Miss All Sunday. The blocker. We're gonna play X-Drake and pass turn. Yeah, with this deck, it feels more aggressive than sit down and relax, kind of. I mean, obviously there is a variant of that you can do, and it works too. It's just, I feel like when it comes to, I guess, this meta, because blue and yellow exist, there's a lot of like ways and options in clear that the enemy color can do now, especially blue. So I feel like trying to get your game plan in order faster is what's going to help win you games in this meta. Making sure you can do your thing before they can do their thing, I believe is what the deciding factor of this meta, in my opinion. If you can do your thing faster, or at least if you can pressure very fast, like early enough, then you should be solid. We have a lot of guard in our hands. This is gonna come in handy later. We're just gonna take the 7k and then see him pass a turn to me, maybe. Okay, we're gonna put a Dawn on X-Drake and swing 7 at lead. It's interesting, we drew the Dellinger. Alright, cool. See how he guards, if he guards it at all. 7k is a big number to swing with. It's like it's one of those sweet spot numbers that's hard to get rid of. Okay, it does nothing. Swing 6k at lead because of X-Drake's ability. He's using Desert Spada, I mean. Okay, stacking his top end. We're gonna call Dellinger, and then we're gonna play brand new, hit Issho. We do hit Issho, Dellinger ability, restand X-Drake. Now nothing is tradable on the board. I can continue pressuring unless he hard removes it using a 3000 Worlds or a Red Rock, which he doesn't have. He opted to go for the ramp instead. We're at 7 Dawn. They have 3, 6, 9 cards in hand. We're gonna actually block this because we can. It's an easy 2k here. We're gonna put a Dawn. Oh, actually we're at exactly 8. We're gonna swing 5k at lead. See what he does here. We're gonna swing 5k again. When you want to use Issho's ability, you want to use it as greedy as possible. Because if I do it now, I might just get rid of trash such as Miss Valentine and whatever he drops. But now he's at 7 cards in hand. This makes it to where I hit a lot bigger things such as boom! Ooh, we had a Kaido and a Love Beam. And our turn, Dellinger, restand X-Drake, and our board is safe yet again. Let's see what he can do about this time. And now that we have Issho on board, our Kobe's pretty online to hitting 6 costs and lower, 7 costs if I put a Dawn on leader. Once I use Drake to swing, my Brandy becomes a 4k, Issho becomes a 10k, I become a 6k, and then we just start railing after that because it's going to be a lot harder for them to actually adapt and catch up in the game because we're swinging such big numbers. What he can do here is English. It's my first language. It's insane. Play the 8 cost Croc, but he doesn't do that. Probably what they're gonna do is just bank for the end game or the long game, trying to get another Love Beam Spada using Miss All Sunday as a shield. He puts 1 Dawn on leader. The leader ability is going to be active next turn for sure. Because as I swing at him, he's going to be blocking a lot of stuff. We're going to block with Alvita. When it comes to blocking, you want to save your suitors as much as possible because they offer the value of reducing cost by 2, which is pretty huge. Ooh, okay. Got our Bossmon. Alright, we're gonna put a Dawn on lead, swing 7k at leader. Put a Dawn on Drake. He might as well be the leader, actually, of this deck. He makes this deck go round. Very threatening. Very, very threatening. Okay, does that. Leader ability procs, he draws a card. Alright, we're gonna play Kuzan to get a draw. Okay, we grab a Sakazuki. I'm gonna put 1 Dawn on brand new and swing 5 at lead. That felt good to do. Yeah, having our own Zoro ability is really strong. We're gonna put a Dawn leader, swing 7 at lead. This is the power of X Drake. He bottomed Dark Kuzan. No. Swing 10k at lead. He's gonna block it, re-grab the red rock that he got from live. Unfortunate, but it happens. It is what it is. But we're not gonna be upset about it because it's whatever. Yep. Then we're gonna call out our Fukuro. Delling is gonna give us a Dawn to restand our X-Drake. So now we get to continue to keep our constant +1 pressure. He opts to play Kaido instead. It is a tough decision for him because Kaido drops an 8 cost or less and then a 3 cost or less. He's a 4 cost, so he hits a sweet spot. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that one. That was interesting. I think because of that, he may have lost. I'm not going to I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We are going to block this just in case. We're going to block with Dellinger, actually. Gonna swing with Lee. We're going to block with Kobe. Alright. Alright, so there's going to be 7, 8, 9. He's going to need a lot to guard this. And if he doesn't, then we got it. Because we can just put the rest on Issho and swing for 13 since I'm getting the +1 off of here. Unless he gets like a blocker from live. Okay. As you can see, the deck is a lot more aggressive than the previous times. But yeah, that was a pretty good game. Let's see if we can get another one. All right, anticipation. We got ourselves a yellow. We're gonna go first so we can get first swing. Let's see, not too good of a hand. Sort of recovers itself, but this allows us to be super aggressive early. Of course, it's a simulator. It's got its ups and downs. It's kinks and whatnot. It's not gonna always be perfect, but we do what we gotta do, you know. I think the first thing I'm gonna be playing is the X-Drake as soon as I get the chance. So next turn I'll play X-Drake and then swing 6. Actually, swing 6 then play X-Drake. You always want to swing before playing a card just in case they have a Thunderbolt prop, because that happens very often. Or just really strong triggers in general. 6k lead. I'll block with 2k. Play X-Drake pass. X-Drake sticks to the board here. We're in a very comfortable spot. I have seen Katakuri's Thunderbolt the living shit out of cards that I've had so that they don't have anything to worry about. We're gonna get rid of one of our Diamantes. He's gonna be playing Perospero, probably. It's gonna hurt, but we'll ditch a brand new here. We just want to take as less life damage as possible here. We want to be in a very healthy spot. We pick up the Issho. We're going to swing 7k lead. Super strong hit. It eats a lot of cards out of their hand if they do block it, which they do. 7k lead one more time. One more time. Let's see, are they actually gonna counter out of this? They will not. Play Kuzan, and turn, restand my X Drake. Sometimes it's good to have secondary targets when it comes to the defending side, but with the amount of value that X Drake gives us, it's so much. So you don't want to really do that. I'm gonna ditch the Dellinger here. He's gonna swing 7 and swing 8. He's at 7 right now. He's looking at my top to move it to the bottom. That's probably a good card. I'm gonna eat that. Ooh, we get another X Drake. Ooh, that's huge actually. It's huge. We're gonna eat that as well. Okay, we pull the. Can we afford to trash life? No, we cannot right now. Let's see. We've got 9 Dawn to work with. We're gonna put a Dawn here. And swing 7 at Peros Pero, actually. Because the less... Oh yeah, this is pretty big, actually. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to Issho here, because even if they do take this and go to 6, that's going to leave us vulnerable to like a lot of attacks. What you want to do here is board clear. Is, you know, plausible as possible, of course. Let's see, we want to play... I think I want to get a second Drake on the board. Yeah, I want to get a second Drake on the board. Okay, so we're going to swing 6 at life. We're going to bait him to take this life. He doesn't. Swing 6k with Kuzan. See how that goes. Drops another 2k, drops a second Stroisen. We're gonna drop another. Actually, what we will do is we're gonna drop X Drake, drop Bukuro, use ability to restand our X Drake. We're gonna see if we can take a more aggressive turn of events here. Obviously, might not be able to. Depends on. So if they 10 drop here, right? Then we go to 0, swing, do the thing. Drop horse. Yeah, I fell behind super huge this game. But that's fine because every game isn't perfect. Let's see if we can get a rematch with them though. The matchup isn't as bad as it looks. I trust. They're gonna go second, we're gonna go first again. Okay, and turn. We're going to swing 5 and then start off with Dellinger. And obviously in real life, they're not going to pull the nuts like that in the real life game. It's just, although Sim is very good for testing and such, it's a bit too statistical. Statistically, they will see all those triggers and all those big cards, so. But I'm sure, like, I'm a law player, so obviously I know how that feels. Like, I play an actual game, and it's like, oh wow, I saw all my blockers, all my green and red cards, and then I play on Sim, and it's like, I statistically saw more of my red cards than my green cards, because technically I have more red cards than green cards. And it was like, well, the way the cookie crumbles on Sim. Can't get it all, you know? One of my favorite combos I like to do here is, I'll be at 5, the Dawn on Dellinger, swing 5 with Dellinger, swing 5 with lead after. Either that or burn 2 cards out of their hands. I will play the X Drake to get him going and turn to restand Dellinger. Let's see. Next turn, ooh, they don't have too many cards now, actually, because they guarded so heavily early. Obviously, we're going to take the 7k hit. Oh, this one 5. Okay. You don't need more than one Dellinger on the board, and it's probably not going to go away anytime soon. Swing 7k. So we're going to take this, and then we're going to block. Yeah, we're going to block his swing. He's going to look at mine. He looks at his. Okay. I'm going to 2k, and then we're going to use Kobe to block, actually. Because what we're going to do here, we're going to put a Dawn on X-Drake, swing 7k at Peril's Peril. Against yellow, you want to control their board. Less units, less threats. Kind of simple. Also adds a card to their hand so that I can Issho, hit a big Issho in the following turns. Okay, they get a Lin, swing 4k at the Pudding. The Pudding. There's no way you're blocking this fucking Pudding, are you? There's just no way, right? Alright. Man's took a while to make that decision. Do they block the 6-figure? They do. We're gonna call out him. We're gonna go for Kuzan so we can get some more draw. Call Borsalino, use Dellinger to stand the X-Drake. Here, Dellinger's susceptible, but if he does swing at it, that puts us in a better spot anyway. He's attacking me. Yellow is more aggressive this time around. But we're going to take it, and then we're going to give him the life after he drops the... Yep. Okay. Dawn on X-Drake, swing 7. Swing with Borsalino for 6. Don't him dying. He's at 6 cards in hand. We do have the luxury of playing this card because we get to drop. Okay, drop those 2 cards. Swing 6 again. Might take it, might not. Oh, I think he underguarded that on accident. He thought I'd swing 5k probably. Happens. Well, unless he gets a... Okay, we're gonna stand Boris. Unless he gets a... unless he gets a Thunderbolt trigger, then we're in shambles right now. But we should be fine. It does that. All right, cool. We're sitting. We're chilling a little bit right here. Okay, block that. Block that. Unfortunately, we gotta block with that. If I had another blocker, this would be so insane, actually. Got 4 life. We've got a couple swings to do here. In an instance like this, we just go for game because there is no coming back for here. Just gonna get this out of the way so X-Drake has the boost active. So that's fine. Let's see. 4 more swings. Yes, 3 health. We have to make all these connect now. We're gonna swing with Dellinger first, swinging 7 again because 7's a nasty number to hit or a nasty number to guard. This will be 5, 6, 7 here. Unfortunately, he has enough guard. Okay, we're going to... Yeah, that's basically it. Unfortunate. He had the guard forward. He probably gets a page here. Yeah. GG's, man. Sure, we'll stand that. Yeah, yellow's really strong right now. They have an immense amount of triggers. They have more 2k counters to guard with now. It's just a rough time. Imagine about a mini blocker. Yeah. But yeah, there it goes. That is the matchup. Okay, overview time. So, obviously the deck is strong. It has its strength. It has its weaknesses. Right now, currently, yellow is one of the big dogs, if not the biggest one right now. They got a lot of support, a lot of stronger cards. They're going to be a little bit rough to take down. However, I think with a couple more tweaks to this deck, I feel like it'll be no problem. In my opinion, I feel like it'll be no problem. Yeah. Once you get your 4 cost extra down the board, you become aggro navy, and it's really strong. It's really fun. It's really strong. It deals it has a lot of value attached to it. Um, Obviously, Kuzan plays his part. Most of the time, he got me a draw. Didn't really do too much, so I might consider him. Sakazuki didn't come too often, but when it did, it felt a little lackluster. But we can fix that. Probably add a couple more Kobe's for more KO capabilities. I feel like the opponent not having a board really helps Black stay in the game longer. So with more KO cards, that should come in handy a lot more. But yeah, I have a lot of fun playing Issho. It's kind of just like what a green deck wants to do. You kind of just want to do your green thing while also keeping them safe at the same time without having to drop too much. So going for that going for a fun playstyle like that while also being like somewhat viable in this meta right now is pretty good. Yellow is a bad matchup. Blue is okay. It's doable. If they don't see their 4 copies of Red Rock and 3000 Worlds in their one game, or all of their bottom decking and bouncy units. I know, funny guy, but yeah. Otherwise, it's a pretty solid deck. I like it. I'm gonna be testing more with it. I'm going to be streaming more of my games on Twitch, so follow that link, please. Follow me on Twitch. Fun times. But yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll catch you at the next one.